Welcome back to another preview game. Montreal Canadiens on Wednesday, March 10, 2021. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back to another special edition of the Hockey Nation Live Show. This is your coach, Frenchy, back in the house today to talk about the preview game for the Montreal Canadiens. Yes, it's going to be late. Are you going to be there? We're going to be live streamed tonight for the first time. The Hockey Nation Live Show is going to be streamed. The game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Vancouver Canucks. And obviously, the game starts at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. It's going to be a late night, my friend. Hopefully, you're going to be there. Hopefully, you're going to enjoy maybe another W of the Montreal Canadiens tonight. And we'll see what could happen with them. But like what we do every single time, we start with a preview game. And we go with the series between both teams. And right now, after 6 games, the Montreal lead by 4-2 over the Vancouver Canucks. The goals for 29-18 advantage the Habs. And the shot is the same advantage the Habs at 184 versus 136. And the power play is pretty even now. 4-22 for the Canadiens and 5-23 for the Vancouver Canucks. And a minute of penalty, 89 by the Montreal Canadiens and 94 by the Vancouver Canucks. Let's move on with, like I said, the record for the Montreal Canadiens. They are now in the 4th in the North Division, 11-6-7. The Vancouver Canucks chase the Montreal Canadiens with a 12-15-2, and they are 5th now with the 3W in the last 3 games. So Vancouver looked great in the last 10 games, to be honest with you. We expect both goaltender. They look like it's confirmed. Carey Price versus Thrasher Temko. The power play for Montreal is 15 at 22.7, 19.6 for Vancouver at 18. The PK Vancouver are 13, and Montreal is at 19. The goals for Montreal is pretty good again, still in the top 10 with 3.29. They are sit at 6 in the NHL. The Vancouver are 19 at 2.77. A goal again, Montreal at 2.71. They are now 10 in NHL and 3.24 for Vancouver. They give a lot of goal they are now 26 in NHL. And for the face-off, Montreal is 47.2 versus 52.8. Great for Vancouver. They are number 6 also in NHL. Since the beginning of the year, the most goal for both teams. Toffoli is at 15. Browser at 13. Most the point, Jeff Petrie is at 23. And again, Brock is at 28 for Vancouver. TOI 22:59, almost 23 minutes for Shea Weber. And Quinn Hughes is at 22:40. And finally, for the most goal by goaltender, most the win, I'm sorry about that. Carey Price is at 7, and Demko is at 8. Like I like to do every time we go here for the preview game, where I bring back your shopping up. What you need to know for Montreal to beat again the Montreal, to beat the Vancouver. Like I said, you already know about the part and number 1. The last 5 games, the Habs are 2-0-3, and they lost the 3 game in OT or shootout. They score 15 goals in the last 5 games, so at 3 per game, and they allow 10 goals for a 2.50 per game. The power play is 4-9, and the PK is 2-13. Very great number right there, to be honest with you. Price is a 7.44 at 2.69 and a save percentage of 0.903. Price looked great in the last 3 games, to be honest with you. His number is getting better and better. The last 5 games, Gallagher has 6 points and also most goal with 4. Tatar have 6 assists and Edmondson have +4. He is also the number 1 in NHL with a plus. What the Montreal have to do tonight is, of course, is a press dirty I think that's what they have the most difficult. Then they have like a couple of returner defensemen. They look a little bit better, Vancouver, but still do a lot of turnover and their defensive side. So I think if the Montreal can press two on them, that we're helping Montreal to create that kind of turnover. Of course, like I said, Vancouver have a pretty good power play, and they should be sure Montreal is not in the penalty box. We know last game they gave a 5-3, and fortunately for the Montreal, they didn't score during that time. But still, Montreal you have to be careful. I always said every game when your special team, you have to have most. If the team have to win the special team 90% time, they win the game. And stop, of course, their power play. And finally, Orvat, Miller, and Browser, the other one, they have to be careful. They have to be sure they cover them very well. Do not give too many goals from that line for sure. And finally, the last 10 game, Montreal Canadiens have a record of 3-2-5, and they lost all the 5. To be honest with you, the goals for 29, goals again 30. The power play, the last 10 game, that's 23.5, and the PK is 72.5. And finally, the profile player of the game or of the day is Josh Anderson. And 21 game, he has 10 goals, 3 assists, and 13 points, and a +2. Josh have an amazing, great start with the Montreal Canadiens, and you cannot be more happier about that part. He's with Toffoli, great signature. We can mention also all the 4 players they signed with the Montreal, Jake Allen and Edmondson. Mike Bergevin did very well with the 4. And finally, we want to mention to you the breaking news today in NHL. That's something I want to share with you. It's confirmed now the NHL, ESPN, and Disney reached a groundbreaking 7-year right deal between those 3 part companies, and that's an amazing, great. We heard from a couple of sources, and I cannot confirm with you guys, but we heard maybe a contract of $400 to $420 million. That's amazing. If the NHL did that, remember now you're going to have a different way to a lot of games going to be on streaming on Hulu or on the ESPN Plus. They're going to have a 25 game on the national, and also the national ABC is going to present 4 of the 7 year the Stanley Cup, and finally they're going to have a couple of games per year and 25 game per year on the national channel EBC during the year. So and then that's not mentioned to you. Also, they can have another agreement with any other sport channel to have to complete a full TV right deal. So it's pretty amazing what they accomplished, and we can boo the president and then NHL Gary Bettman, but at the end of the day, he's doing always a great things for deal for the NHL. So that's conclude today our preview game for the Montreal Canadiens. Just want to remind you the game tonight start at 11 o'clock Eastern time. 11 o'clock Eastern time. So if you live like me in the Eastern and in Florida, you're going to be in bed around 2 o'clock, and I will not do the post game after the game. I can promise you that. But you're going to get a post game tomorrow morning and give you my comments about the game tonight. So thanks again for joining us. Like we like to do every time we come here, we want to invite you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also on Facebook page under Hockey Nation Live Show. That's where you're going to get all the information about us, and that's where you're going to get also every preview post game for the Montreal Canadiens and everything's going on around the league and NHL. So that's a great place to learn more about the NHL for sure. And finally, like we do every single time we finish the recording video, you, Montreal fans, remember, you have greatness inside of you. Bon match, mes amis, ce soir. Remember, we are live stream 11 o'clock tonight talking about the game.